In the early 1900s, as cities grew and technology changed lives, one man, Burton Hensley, had a vision for his family to return to the days of old. He fulfilled that vision by buying 200 acres on top of Cumberland Mountain in the Cumberland Gap area and creating the Hensley Settlement. For Brittany Pike, a park guide for the Cumberland Gap National Park Service, the Hensley Settlement is one of the best preserved living museums of this time period.
No matter where we're at, somebody has a connection to that culture. That was our families. And we learn from what they have made. We have learned from those stories. And if we are not able to go back and see those things or hear those things, we are definitely losing that connection with our past. And our past is very important to who we are today, no matter where you are in the world.
Burton Hensley divided the land among his family members, and a small community of 100 people grew and prospered. Log homes, spring houses, and barns for food storage sprang up across the landscape, along with a blacksmith shop and a church.
When visitors intend a tour today at Hensley Settlement, there are several different buildings that they get the opportunity to see how they were built, how these people lived, how it was all set up. And one of them, more specifically, is the schoolhouse behind me here. And everybody expects when they moved on the mountain that they didn't have a school or they had to go off the mountain for school, but the school was right here in the community.
For over 40 years, these families farmed and raised animals and created crafts to trade with others in the area.
This was a village. Everybody worked together. It was a community. Everybody was one big family.
But just as Burton Hensley intended, the Hensley Settlement remained isolated, reachable only by horse on dirt roads, electricity never reaching the community. The Hensley Cemetery bears witness to the tough times, with a number of graves for lost children.
You were taking a sleigh or a sled, something of that nature, off the mountain, or mule. Going off the mountain, you had to go find a doctor if someone was ill. Sometimes it could be several weeks before someone was able to get back on the mountain to doctor whoever may have been ill, and especially young children. They didn't know what was wrong with them. We knew they were ill. We knew they didn't feel good, whatever the case may have been. You have a lot of young children in that cemetery because of that reason.
By the late 1940s, many members of the community began leaving for a number of reasons.
The reason the settlement itself started deplenishing, jobs that people were currently working, young men were working, places has closed, more specifically the Chadwell Gap Coal Company just on the Virginia side of the mountain. And they were having to go off the mountain to find work. They were finding young women to marry, finding different modern things that they enjoyed, and they were starting to slowly move off the mountain.
Sherman Hensley, who arrived in 1903, was the last to leave in 1951. Upon his death, Sherman Hensley would return to the home he loved. Today, the Hensley Settlement is open for the public to explore many of the original buildings. There are miles of trails available for hikers to experience the serenity and peacefulness Burton Hensley searched for over a century ago.
There's about 85 miles worth of trails. Several trails actually access Hensley Settlement. You can access it from the Pinnacle Overlook if you choose to do so. We're about 12 miles from the Pinnacle Overlook via the Ridge Trail at this time. You can actually hike the Chadwell Gap Trail as well on the Virginia side of the mountain. Hensley Settlement is very serene, very peaceful. When you stand quietly and just listen, you hear the wind, you hear the rain, you hear the trees moving in the wind. You know your surroundings, and it kind of lets you touch base with nature.
Hey everybody, I'm Chip Holston, and I am cherishing this Kentucky life. And if you enjoyed that story and would like to see more, click right here to see more.